Hi, it's Dr. Mary. How long is it going to take until I see results? That is today's viewer question. We are on principle number 6 of my 7 principles of what it means to be a well-nourished woman. And today's principle is all about divine timing. So I want to share a story with you that I think is very illustrative of this idea of right time, right place, right person, right thing, right situation. You know, I've shared before several times with you that one of my mottos is that life happens for us, not to us. And part of that is understanding that as impatient as we may be, and trust me, I am a Virgo, I am very impatient, we don't always get what we want when we want it, but we do get what we need. So part of being a well-nourished woman is trusting in the process, trusting that it will happen when it's supposed to happen. So back to my story. So 3.5 years ago from recording this, I got a divorce, and I had been with my then husband for 21 years. And so it was quite a change for me, because at that point in my life I got divorced right before I turned 40, and so I had spent more than half of my life with this man. And I went through all the stages of grief. I went through the processing, the healing of separating yourself from someone that you had been with for so long. And yet at the same time, I was really lonely. And I wanted to attract the right man into my life. So I allowed myself a few months to heal, thinking, 21 years, a few months, like it's, that's all I need. No. If any of you have ever been through a divorce, you know that it takes longer than a few months to heal from it. So I kept meeting man after man, and they were all the wrong men, and I knew it, and yet I was lonely and I wanted them to be the right man. So at one point I even got in a relationship for about 6 months with a man that I knew pretty much from the get-go was not the right man for me. It was about a year after my divorce at that point. I thought, oh, I'm ready. I'm really ready now. And I wasn't ready. And he had just gotten out of a relationship. He wasn't ready either. To make a very long story short, it didn't last because it wasn't the right place, right time, right person for each other. And we were both getting into the relationship for the wrong reasons, and we got all caught up in the Twitterpation of new relationships, and just it didn't last. So after that relationship ended, I knew that I needed to really and truly take some time and heal. So 6 months later, my friends were starting to say, okay, it's time, you need to get out on the market again. That relationship was only 6 months, it's been 6 months, aren't you ready yet? And I knew in my soul that no, I wasn't ready yet. It wasn't the right time. So I concentrated on making sure I was in the right place. I was doing the right things to nourish my soul, so that when it was the right time, the right person would appear in my life. So at this time, my friends were like, just try online dating, do this, do that. And I'm like, no, I know I'm not ready. And so a few months went by, and it was October, and I thought, I still don't think I'm ready, but I met a man through mutual friends, and we went out at once. I was like, no, he's not the right guy. And I kept meeting these men, and they were all the wrong man, and I was getting really frustrated. And then, suddenly, the right one appeared. And I knew, this is what I've been waiting for. This is divine timing. The funny thing is, when I started dating this man, I remembered a conversation that I had had with myself where I had gone in, checked in with my heart space back in that summer when my friends were like, you really need to get online, try online dating. And I was like, no, it's just not time. I'm not ready. And I had asked the universe, you can do that, you know. I asked the universe, when? When am I going to be ready? When might I expect this man to appear? And I got loud and clear, December. Now, I had totally forgotten, and I still get goosebumps when I think about that. I had totally forgotten about that experience until I went through October and November, and I kept getting these men that were just not the right man, and Mr. Addicted, Mr. Alcoholic, Mr. Needy, Mr. Clingy, you know, like all of these men that I was like, no, like I made my list and I knew what I wanted, and none of these men that were appearing in my life at that time were the right man. And in December, suddenly, he appeared. And I remembered that conversation. So, I get that sometimes life happens at a little bit slower pace than we would like. We want to get the job, we want things to work out, and they don't. But everything happens for a reason, and life happens for you and not to you. And so if you're frustrated, if you're feeling like, why is this taking so long? This is a learning moment for you to go in, connect in with your heart space, and say, what's the lesson here? And when can I expect to manifest what it is that I truly desire? One of the big components of this process that a lot of my clients struggle with, and I struggled with for decades, was a little thing called self-trust. We have the best intentions. We ask these questions. When can I expect it? What do I need to do to work on? And then we doubt everything that we hear. So if self-trust is something you struggle with, I invite you to check out a group program that I have been running for about a year, and we change topics every month. And this month we are working on self-trust. You can jump in and out at any time. drmarypritchard.com/sacred-circle. It's all about diving into that principle, number 6, of divine timing, waiting for the right moment, learning to trust yourself, and knowing that it really is all going to work out just as it should. So if that serves you, check it out, drmarypritchard.com/sacred-circle. If you want some more targeted laser coaching for your specific situation, just go to my website, drmarypritchard.com. There's a Work with Mary tab at the top. You can click on a contact button and get a free 15-minute laser coaching call with me, where we can see what I can do to help you with your situation. So if either of those appeal to you, I hope you take advantage. Otherwise, keep the questions coming in. And next week, we'll move on to the last of my 7 principles of being a well-nourished woman. Much love.